chopping down the Godzilla trail with 4 films left, and here it is, number 29. It's a film that Toho waited 12 years to produce for Godzilla, and it is Shin Godzilla. Yes, that's right. After Final Wars, Toho said there would not be another Godzilla film for 10 years, and they were right. We didn't get another Godzilla film till 2014, Gareth Edwards' American version. Well, 2 years later, Toho reboots Godzilla once again in an unusual matter with Shin Godzilla. We're getting the story this time of some mysterious creature that shows up in Tokyo Bay that's got a really long tail and it's just freaky looking, and they've never run into a creature before. So in this world now, we've never had a Godzilla before, and so we see how the government tries to work through its bureaucracy to try to get things done, and their inaction just causes more problems. Well, we have young up-and-comer in the Japanese political scene, Rondo Yaguchi, who wants to cut past all that. He assembles a team of all scientists of all shapes and sizes to try to figure out this monster as it wreaks havoc across Tokyo. And we see how they try to come up with the peaceful solution to take out Godzilla before the UN and the rest of the world decide that the only answer is to nuke this new menace. And we see how it's a race against time between these two to see whose solution will be the final answer. Shin Godzilla is interesting in that there's a lot of commentary in here that I think I'm missing because I don't live in Japan, but man, are they making a statement about how the government runs and the bureaucracy between them. There's a scene in here in the early stages where they're working through trying to figure out what they're going to do about this new threat, this creature that's running up the river. And it's funny how they're relaying information through like 5 different people to the prime minister, who then relays it back, and they're held up by budget constraints and concerns and political. All of that is covered in this film, in between watching probably one of the scariest versions of Godzilla we've ever seen evolve, which is one of the weirder things for this approach. We've had monsters that form before, but never the big Godzilla himself. But here we watch him transform into this weird kind of, kind of like a tadpole type of thing as he gets bigger and bigger to the biggest version of Godzilla we've ever seen, with crooked teeth, scary. His skin, you can see red and stuff and ribbed, and it's just, he's a frightening beast. I really love the design in here. It took me aback at first when I first watched this. The first time I watched it in the first of his forms, I'm like, okay, this is really out there. But as the film went along and you see where they were going, I dug it. He's got new abilities in here, which some people like, some people don't. I enjoyed it, including setting fire to the entire streets of Tokyo by letting out flammable gas, and he's got rays that come out of his spine. I mean, they just went all out to try to give you a fresh, different Godzilla, and it is just him in here fighting against the people of Tokyo and the world. Now, Rondo Yaguchi is the main player in here who's putting together the task force and just trying to get things done, and cutting through the bureaucracy just to try to figure out how to fight Godzilla. He's played fantastically by Hiroki Hasegawa. I love this character quite a bit. He's sharp, he's smart, he's a guy that's got a weight of the world, and he's just trying to cut through and change things in his government to try to get things done quicker, because things go at a snail's pace even when there's a national catastrophe going on right under their nose. And I love that. Now, he gets some help by Keioki and Patterson. She's a great character. She's the liaison between Japan and the US. She's played by Satomi Ishihara, and loved her character as well. Very strong female character who, she also, there's no bones about her either. She really plays hard-nosed as well, and because she doesn't want to see anything happen to her grandmother's country, as she put it, including seeing it possibly get nuked again. So you have all that going on. I loved the mixture between the suits and the live action. Some of the best stuff we've seen, and they do some crazy camera work in here as well. Like, we're passing underneath Godzilla as he's walking by, and it looks real. It doesn't look composited. Now, they did try to do a guy in a suit for most of it, but considering this is the largest Godzilla suit they ever made, there were some troubles. So a lot of the Godzilla shots are actually CGI. But let me tell you, this is the first time I think you couldn't tell that it was CGI'd. You know, they just melded it so well, and it looked so good and so scary. There's some tense moments in here. You're sitting there going, oh my God, I hope they get this resolved before they get nuked. You know, I mean, so there's some edge of your seat stuff. There's a great relationship between our two main characters in here. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun to see this film and this different take. And now watching the other films, I have a better perspective on it, and seeing even more of the satire and commentary that they're making through this Godzilla film as they have done in the past. Now, one of the things is that dialogue in here flies at you very fast. It's because the director wanted it to be similar to like Social Network, so kind of that type of style of dialogue, and it does. It rolls by through you pretty quick. Even with the subtitles, you got to kind of read quickly. You know, there's humor worked in here, statements about how these government officials won't listen to their experts when their experts is right, and then have to deal with the fact of going in front of the public and being wrong. You know, there's all kinds of different angles that they take with this film, and in the end, it really is an interesting modern take on the Godzilla franchise, but still at its heart is still that Godzilla film that we all know and love from 1954, just updated. And yeah, I would have liked to see more of the Shin Godzilla, but apparently they're not doing that anymore. No, they are creating a Toho combined monster universe that they're working on, that I'm excited to see how that's going to play out as well. And yeah, Shin Godzilla, I recommend it. At first I didn't think I would, but it's definitely one for a more modern age, and I think if you're a newer Godzilla fan, you'll probably really enjoy it. So there you have it. Let me know what you think of Shin Godzilla. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this interesting take on the big guy. We've got 3 more films to go. I hope you stick with us as we look at those 3 anime films that came out on Netflix here in the US. I thank you for your support, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.